Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Persona 4 Arena Part 2. In the previous video we kicked things off with Yu's story. We got back to Inaba, learned about the Midnight Channel still around. We went to the TV to see if we can find Rize, Kanji, and Teddy. Kanji? I said Kanji? I don't know, we're in a music room. There's evil fucking Beethoven. That's Beethoven, right? I'm gonna be honest. I reckon that's a picture's pretty famous, but I'm pretty sure that's a Beethoven. Oh god. Oh no. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it's either him or Mozart. I think that's Beethoven, though. I probably should have just, said one of them with confidence instead of second guessing myself. Where did I get thrown into when I left that blue room? The scenery is so unexpected I'm at a loss. This is a school. It's the music room of Yasugami High. I attended this school with my friends until recently. There's no mistaking it. We entered the TV together, so why am I here? No, that's not right.
No, wait. This has to be the TV world.
Really? What made you think that? Is it all the, creepy fucking paintings and the police tape? The graffiti on the ground? Shoes placed like they're for some kind of ritual? Oh yeah, I didn't see that. The eerily shining eyes of the portraits on the wall, they just got Photoshop laser eyes. It's no big deal. The more carefully I look, the more I realize that this place is not the real Yasugami Ha. I mean, I'd be pretty perturbed if this is what the school normally looked like. Most of all, I had sensed no warmth in this place like I always did from the students who would come and go from here. All the warmth from rumor-loving student, riddle-loving student. This is a fake. It's definitely not the school I attended. But what happened to turn the world inside the TV to this? On top of that, we entered the TV from our usual entrance, but ended up in a completely different place.
This has never happened before.
I also realized that my friends aren't with me either. Did we somehow get separated? I start to feel chills down my spine and look around.
Hello! Sorry for the wait!
Go away.
Greetings, boys and girls of Yasugami.
We're just here for Kanji, okay?
The P1 Grand Prix is about to begin.
Rize and Teddy, you can stay for all I care.
There's no need for manners or courtesy or anything today, so let it all hang out. Tell us how you really feel.
What the?
A P1 Grand Prix? I shout out questions, but she doesn't answer. This is Rize Kuchikawa, one of our friends on the investigation team that we couldn't contact. Does she not hear me, or is she choosing not to respond? As I ask myself this, I hear different voices echoing as well. I look around in surprise. These voices, it's not just from one or two people. I sense countless students staring at me from the hallways, the entrance, everywhere I turn.
May I have your attention, please? I, Rosette, will be your commentator. But first, the General has a few words for you all.
What's going on? Why are there so many people inside the TV world? Yes, all the people we can see. Oh, there's a photo of Teddy back there. I didn't notice that one. Before I can think of any answers, Rize makes another announcement. And as if on cue, the monitor of the music room turns on. What appeared on it was Teddy. He was wearing a strange hat and cape, just like he did on the Midnight Channel last night. First Rize and now Teddy? What are they doing?
You're all here now.
Teddy, speak up. Nobody can fucking hear you, dude. You're so quiet.
Well then, I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
For the most part, the audio seemed fine in the video. I edited the first video in between, recording this one and that one, and it seems like the audio is going to be fairly fine on the recording. It's still just extremely quiet on my end. I had to pump the volume up a ton, and the WAV files for these videos is hilarious because it's the game audio track is almost non-existent, and then you get to the cutscenes and it just blows them the fuck out. It's just this massive block of sound. Again, that's the same bizarre tournament that was shown on the Midnight Channel. Then, is Teddy really the one behind this insanity?
Teddy, what's going on here? We came to look for you and Rise and...
Always with the talking, Sensei. It's a big waste of time.
This is what happens when you burn Teddy's nurse magazines. Like, look at what you've done.
Less talk and more fighting. With the next challenger, come on down.
Like, you deprive him of his horniness, and look at what he's turned to. Teddy looks away and makes a dismissive gesture. Smoke suddenly bursts out from underneath me and robs me of any visibility. Is there someone beyond that white curtain? Eventually, my field of vision begins to clear. I keep my guard up, expecting anything. But who should appear but Yosuke? Though I hadn't expected to run into him like this, I'm relieved to see that he's safe. Teddy did say something about a challenger just a moment ago. I recall that the P1 Grand Prix that appeared on the Midnight Channel looked a lot like some kind of fighting competition. Wait, am I supposed to fight Yosuke now? Oh, let's go. That's not funny at all. Plus, it wouldn't be a fair fight.
Great. They're expecting you and me to fight.
Looks like. Sheesh, what's Teddy thinking?
Starting that up already? I won't let you get all buddy-buddy with each other. These battles are fought to the death. Only the victor can proceed.
I doubt that.
This joke's gone on far enough, Teddy.
I mean,
We're not gonna play
Yosuke
along
will have the advantage of me not knowing what the fuck I'm doing if we do fight. Like, it's gonna be bad. I look over at Yosuke, hoping that he would agree with me. I am confident in my ability to button mash and cheese the AI, though. But he doesn't appear interested in what I have to say.
Oh, really? I guess he should declare me the winner then.
Yosuke?
What? You don't plan on fighting, right? That means I win by default.
That was not what I was expecting to hear. What's gotten into you, Yosuke? Do you have some reason to be talking like this? It's because he got rid of his nurse magazines. He's got all that pent-up frustration. I can't figure out what's going on. Yosuke continued to speak in a carefree manner, and said something that I simply couldn't believe.
Oh, but is that okay with you? I mean, since Nanako-chan's here and all?
What?
Nanako's here?
Wait, really? You haven't seen her? She's with Teddy.
Oh no. That can't be. I saw Nanako back at the house when I left this morning. And even then, Nanako can't enter the TV world on her own. But she's in this world? I can't believe it for a moment. Oh no. He is becoming a sister complex. But what if it's true? Just coming into this world can tire a person out very quickly. On top of it, if someone who can't use a persona comes here, it can sometimes even be fatal.
Where is she? Yosuke, where's Nanako?
Whoa, what's gotten into you, partner? No need to get hysterical.
Why are you so calm about this? You know what happened to her last time she came here.
Nanako did come into this world once, last year. It was not something any one of us would have wanted to happen. That was the start of a whole chain of events. Remembering them is heart-wrenching, even now. Like an emotional manipulation. So why? No, even then, it might be wrong for me to lash out at Yosuke for the way he's acting. Calm down. I need to think straight here. All Yosuke said was that he saw her with Teddy. Then, was Nanako brought here by Teddy if he's the leader of this tournament?
Yosuke, be straight with me. Are you sure Nanako is with Teddy?
How should I know? If I had to guess, I'd say she's probably still with him. Man, are you alright? Are you that worried about Nanako-chan? It's no wonder people look at you funny, thinking you have a sister complex.
The sense of wrongness that I've been feeling this whole time is getting even stronger. True, Yosuke may say some insensitive thing, that he does, but that's mostly because he reads too much into a situation and acts out over it. He's not the type of guy to enjoy making hurtful remarks like this.
Yosuke, are you alright?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I do kind of like that it
I should be the one
acknowledges
saying that to you.
that Yosuke is occasionally problematic.
She's not even your real sister. All that big bro stuff really creeps me out. It was a while ago that I saw her. It's probably too late to save her now. You know how things went last year, after all.
Yosuke.
He's definitely not the Yosuke I know. Yosuke's my friend. He wouldn't be so callous as that. At least, I thought so up until now. He was the one who had to face the pain of losing someone he cared about, when the murders first started last year. I can't hate him for accidentally mentioning someone who is dead, but the way he's acting, he's doing this on purpose. I silently draw my sword and face Yosuke.
Draw your weapon. You'll get your fight.
What? Dude, what are you saying? You told me you let me win by default.
To be honest, I'd been thinking that this Yosuke before me was some kind of fake. I even wondered if something had happened to him and Yosuke's shadow had appeared again in this world. But this wrongness that I keep sensing is nothing like that. This probably is the real Yosuke. And if the strangeness I feel is because these words really are coming out of the mouth of someone I never thought would say them, if so, then...
I don't know if you're being controlled or if there's something else going on here. Either way, you must understand the best way to resolve the situation.
Good old-fashioned ass-kicking for one of us. Not entirely sure who. There's no way to tell if what I'm saying is getting through to him at all. But if I want to figure out what's going on, I'll just have to fall for this trap once.
Sorry, but I'm gonna go all out. No hard feelings.
Huh? All that talk and you're gonna fight against your partner after all? Well, whatever. Let's hurry up and get this started. Ready?
So I have not familiarized myself with like controls or anything at all, so I mean we're going in fucking raw dog.
Final.
Oh god.
Fight.
How the fuck do I play this game? Okay, so I don't know what any of this shit means. Okay, what in the fuck am I looking at? What the hell is orange and red? Okay, so that's triangle and circle. Okay, so let's try and do something, I don't know, man. Oh god. Oh god. I mean, if nothing else, you can just go for the classic low kick spam. I mean, we won somehow. Let's go. To be honest, I had no clue what the hell was going on there.
Amazing, Sensei! Keep that up and zoom on ahead!
Ahead? You're gonna continue with this?
I would assume
Teddy,
since it's so
about
story-based, that it's probably kind of meant to be pretty easy.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. If you want to find out, you'll have to get to me! And I can't say why, but I think you should hurry.
The monitor shuts off. I still haven't learned anything about Nanako, but he did seem to have been expecting me to ask about her. I don't want to think about it, but Nanako really may be here. The moment the monitor turned off, the students began to leave like waves in the receding tide. No, they don't look like students anymore. They're something inhuman, just taking the shape of students. I was too focused on the fight to notice, but it seems their true forms were coming through. Also, did we like fucking kill Yosuke? They look like silhouettes. Could they be shadows? Even so, I don't sense any hostility from them. Well, if they're not a threat and they're going away, there's no need to chase after them. Besides, there's something more important to do right now.
Yosuke, are you alright?
I walk towards where Yosuke lies collapsed on the ground and give him my hand to help him up.
Ow! Couldn't you hold back a little? I seriously thought you were gonna kill me.
The same went for you. I wouldn't have stood a chance if I held back on you.
Yosuke grimaces in pain as he stands, but he doesn't seem to have suffered any severe injuries. That's good. I knew I couldn't risk going easy on him, so I was a little worried that I'd actually hurt him. But once we get a good look at each other, Yosuke's demeanor suddenly changes.
Anyway, that aside, shut up about the nurses already. It's not like that's the only thing I ever think about.
What's this about nurses?
I mean, we were mentioning the nurses, so...
Huh? You were harping on it the whole time. How can you stand there and constantly bash my taste in women with a straight face?
Oh, so as we heard him saying antagonistic shit, he just heard us saying antagonistic shit?
Is it such a crime to like nurses?
I mean, it's a little weird.
Wait a second.
I mean, it depends on, like, how much you like them. If you upset, like, I mean, you know, it's okay to have a fetish. It's weird if you constantly bring it up. I don't understand why he's suddenly angry, but he's not making any sense at all. I tell Yosuke to calm down, and we go over what he thought had happened before the fight. We learned that our memories of what each of us had been saying didn't match up at all. According to Yosuke, it seems that I'd been, well, teasing him about his taste in women. Yosuke was so heated up over what I'd supposedly said that he almost went into graphic detail, but I stopped him before things went too far. I mean, really, it's best for both of us if we pretend this never happened. I mean, what the main character did is nowhere near as bad as being like, yeah, whatever, if you're like, you know, cousin dies, who gives a shit? It's just a little bit not on the same level. But thanks to our conversation after the battle, I've come to realize something. If we've been hearing each other say things neither of us have been meaning to say, then...
Yosuke, let me ask you something. Is it true that Nanako is here in this world?
She is?
Yosuke's at a loss for words. He had no idea what I was talking about. It's just as I thought. Yosuke doesn't know anything about Nanako. If that's true, then what I'd heard about Yosuke saying before the fight was something that Yosuke couldn't possibly have said. This only makes me more convinced that I have the right idea. What I had heard wasn't what Yosuke had meant to say. I don't know how, but something else had made Yosuke say those words, even if he didn't know what he was saying them. That reminds me, Teddy on the screen had said that I needed to get to him if I wanted to find out the truth. Does that mean that Teddy had done this to us?
I guess there's no choice but to keep going.
Nanako is good friends with Teddy. I don't want to imagine it happening, but if he wanted to kidnap her, it's certainly possible he could have. I want to go home at once and check to make sure that she's okay, but I have no idea where I am. Even worse, Teddy holds the means of returning to the real world. There's no way out of here unless I find him on my own.
Taking off?
Yeah.
Well, be careful.
You're not gonna come with? Be careful. I'm worried about you. Do your best. I sense a lot of emotions behind those words. Yeah, I know that now I'm hearing the real Yosuke. I mean, I guess maybe he's like beat up, so he's gonna rest for a minute, but it seems kind of weird we're just gonna ditch him. I take Yosuke's cheering me on to heart and leave the music room. Teddy had said that only the winner could go on in this tournament. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's probably not a lie. Yosuke understands that as well. That's why he's trusting me to sort it out and lets me go on without much talk. He's frustrated that he can't help me out. I don't know if I'd want to stay in the creepy laser eye room by myself. I'm a little scared. I could just be jumping to conclusions there. After all, Teddy did say that was the rule, but we don't have any proof either way. Well, I might as well see what he meant by that. Actually, isn't that other one Mozart? So there's Mozart and Beethoven, right? You just don't know which one I was referring to. That means I was both right. Haha. Well, I might as well see what he meant by that. I'll stop walking and turn back to Yosuke.
One last thing. About those nurses.
Quit it already! Are you out of your mind again?
Yosuke turns bright red and rushes towards me, flailing wildly in an attempt to stop me from finishing. And... Yosuke fucking dies. The end. There's a painful sounding noise as he runs into something invisible and slowly slides to the floor.
What is this?
You got pranked, bro.
So there's an invisible wall. Looks like the loser can't leave the room.
Looks like there's some force that prevents the loser from leaving the area where the fight took place. It's likely that every time one of these battles happens here, the winner will get sorted out this way. That's annoying.
I see how it works now. Thanks.
If Teddy really has kidnapped Nanako, there's no time to lose.
Don't use me as your guinea pig. Wait, that's it? Hey, don't wear yourself out, alright?
I turn away as Yosuke shouts at me. Not to worry, Yosuke. Give him a quick smile before leaving the area for real this time. At that moment, I feel a wave of disorientation crash over me. I'm surprised that this is happening without warning, but it's not a threat. After all, I know this feeling all too well.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
You don't have to say it every single time. Like we got it at this point. I have been leaving the music room, but now I'm sitting in the Velvet Room for some reason, which is actually more like the music room because it's got the music, yo. Margaret greets me with her usual smile. This room truly is mysterious. But why would she summon me like this? Margaret sees my suspicious expression and speaks up.
Things have only just begun, and yet you already seem tired. The misfortune that has befallen you can be thought of as a sort of trial.
A trial?
I want to know the details behind her words, but I know that she won't answer me even if I ask. The inhabitants of the Velvet Room never reveal everything, or anything. That's because they can only watch over the choices their guests make. Margaret's smile broadens when she sees that I don't intend to ask her anything.
Indeed. I am an observer on your journey. I would do nothing so thoughtless as to force you to make choices. You do not need such provocations. I already know that you shine brilliantly enough.
The shine she speaks of, could it be about my ability to use personas?
Yes, that is part of your brilliance. Personas are masks of resolution, strengthened by controlling one's heart, by forming bonds.
Also, did she just read her mind? Because he thought that to himself.
You understand this well, don't you?
Yeah, that's how we all fought up till now.
Yes, indeed. But one's heart is intangible. It cannot be seen and cannot be felt. When polished, it releases a strong light unlike anything else. But it can also be clouded by trivial things. Have you ever felt that way?
I don't know. What's the question? Backlog? One's heart is not intangible, cannot be yeah, sure. That seems right. Oh wait, I meant to say that's true?
I find that very appealing about you.
Yeah, I didn't just pick the wrong option of what I really meant.
But you should remember that not everyone is as strong as you.
Yeah, who would ever pick the other option, dummy? I didn't mean to, Margaret's voice fades away as she answers me.
From here on, you will be forced to re-examine the things you know as bonds. How will you face the changes to come, and what choices will you make?
When I open my eyes again, I'm in the school's hallway. I turn around and see the door to the music room close behind me. Was I only summoned to the Velvet Room in spirit? There's no way for me to figure out what just happened, but I think back on what Margaret had told me.
The changes, huh?
Even though the people of the Velvet Room avoid saying much, what little they do have to say always has meaning. Well, it's true that Margaret has said some strange things while I've known her, but she's never said anything meaningless while on duty. I would assume that this would be the case now. I may have to keep her words to heart. In any case, I need to concentrate on this case for now. On any case? Come on, you can't use case twice in a sentence. I'm sure I'll understand the meaning behind what she said when the time comes. I must proceed. Though this bizarre place looks nothing like the Asagami High I attended, the building seems strangely familiar as I run through it. Teddy had appeared on the monitor in the music room. From the looks of things, he appeared to be behind what was happening. But I'd heard Rize's voice over the school's PA system before my fight with Yosuke. If this school works anything like a real one, I can make a good guess as to where Teddy and Rize are.
It might be the announcement room.
But of course things aren't that easy. Those invisible walls keep getting in my way wherever I go. It seems that some of these walls don't let anybody through, no matter if they won or lost their fights. Every single time I run into one, I'm forced to take another path. I mean, we just keep running into the fucking invisible force fields over and over. It's like my route is already set for me.
I feel like I'm being led somewhere.
Yeah, it's just like all the dungeons. They're all basically straight lines. I stop for a moment in the hallway out of the practice building and mutter to myself while I take a look around. Where are they trying to lead me? At that moment...
Hey, you there! You're one of them participants in that there Grand Prix thing, right?
I have no clue who you are. A voice that I don't recognize at all breaks me from my reverie. I instinctively jump back and draw my sword in surprise.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's the big idea? You could poke someone's eye out swinging that thing around.
I turn and see a girl that I've never seen before. Was she part of that crowd? No, she looks like a real person. Does she? Does she like a real person? I feel like if I saw someone like this in real life, I'd freak the fuck out. She was caught by surprise when I suddenly pointed my weapon at her. Although she flinches, her words don't lose any of their intensity. How bold of her. That may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's what suddenly crosses my mind. But this girl doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. I sheathe my sword but remain cautious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it. What were you gonna do if you hurt one of the students here, huh?
I don't know, nothing.
You can't go pulling that stuff without student council approval. Alright, the jig is up. I'm putting the kibosh on this tournament right now.
Hey, wait, hold on a second. I'm not in this because I want to be. I'm trying to stop the tournament.
I'm trying to act non-threatening, but the girl continues to glare at me. Who in the world is this girl? She's wearing a Yasugami High uniform. He said something about the student council, but I don't recognize her. You don't encounter people here in this world that often. If a person is here, then they're either a persona user or
Why are you here, by the way? Wait, did you fall inside a TV?
That's right. I might have put it a little differently, but if she can't enter a TV herself, the only possibility is that someone threw her in. That was what was happening in the murders from last year.
All inside a TV. What kind of nonsense is that?
Okay, I mean, maybe out of context it sounds weird, but it makes sense. She's not aware of it. But if she was a persona user, I don't see why she'd hide that fact. If she was trying to keep that from me, then she wouldn't have come to talk to me like this. Then does that mean that she's a victim after all? I carefully chose my words to avoid provoking the girl and introduced myself.
I'm Yu Narukami. I was a second year at Yasugami High until last year.
Huh? Last year? But that uniform.
Oh no, this is kind of my usual equipment when I'm in the TV world.
Okay.
Equipment?
Never mind. Forget it.
Well, if you were only around till last year, I ain't gonna blame you for not knowing. I'm the new student council president. Nice meeting you.
The student council president? We had one of those? If I'm remembering correctly, the student council election should have taken place just before the holidays. I have no knowledge of who won any of those elections since I had left Inuba before they took place. That reminds me, I didn't have any friends in the student council last year either. This girl may very well be the president, no reason not to believe her.
Now it's your turn to spill. You said you ain't in the tournament because you want to be. Then what are you doing here? And what's this tournament about in the first place?
I feel that if I don't explain things very clearly to her, it will only provoke her further. But trying to tell her everything about what's going on here will only confuse her. I leave out the fact that this place is inside a television and tell her about the other things that are going on. Well, is it really like inside a television? It's more the television is a portal to the different world. It's not that the world is actually inside the TV. First, I tell her about Teddy, that a friend of mine is likely the one who set up this tournament. Second, that I encountered some of my friends who were dragged into this as well, but they were acting strangely. Well, just the one. We've only met Yosuke so far. Well, I guess we met Rize was acting weird. And third, that my cousin Nanako, still in elementary school, may have been dragged into this mess. The girl calling herself the student council president seems skeptical while I talk, but eventually she sighs.
So if I got this right, you didn't start this, but your friend did.
Okay, like if you're gonna try and hold us responsible for Teddy's actions, please don't.
Well, you don't seem like you're lying.
It seems that she somehow grasped the gist of what I was trying to say. I thank her out of politeness, but she laughs and asks why I'm thanking her. There's still one more difficult task left at hand. How do I make her understand that all this is within another world, one accessed by going through a TV screen? She still appears to be energetic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's in danger. I have to get her out of this world no matter what. Let's go look.
I ought to tell you to go home, but I get that you're worried about your sis. Come on, let's go check it out.
We both start running at the same time. She's not our sister. I reach my full running speed when something occurs to me. I'm surprised to see this Miss President keeping pace right beside me. Just standing still in this world would be strenuous for a normal person, but she doesn't even seem out of breath. She's quite impressive. I take a moment to quietly praise the girl running next to me, and then you trip her. Ha! Fucking Yosuke gonna be hot forever! Get pranked, nerd! We burst into the gym where all the noise came from, but there's no one here. Instead, we see huge piles of stacked chairs. They're twisted and intertwined everywhere on the open floor of the gym, forming huge towers that reach almost to the ceiling.
What is this? Who'd go to all this trouble?
The girl stares up at the chairs, seemingly dumbfounded. Suddenly, the monitor in the gym flickers to life. And as I expected, Teddy appears, again in that costume.
Oh, are you on a hot date, Sensei? Well, that's fine with me, of course. But shouldn't you keep your mind on the fighting? Whoa, you look so mortified! That's the face I was hoping to see!
He's not saying anything completely straight, but he's obviously hinting that he knows that I'm worried about Nanako. I know that saving Nanako's important, but I can't leave Miss President here alone and abandon her. I like how he's just never even asked her name. She's just Miss President. Still, I feel Teddy's words causing me to doubt myself. And Miss President raises her voice.
Hey, you! You're the ringleader of this mess, aren't you? What's the idea? Raising a ruckus like this without running it by the student council?
Yeah, like, it's okay that you've, like, unilaterally took it over the school and, like, messed with everything and put all this weird police tape up, but, like, you should have gotten approval first. We've totally been on board with it, though.
Pack it in and clean all this up already.
She speaks as fast and clearly as she had when I first met her. After getting a clear look at her, I feel like I've come to realize where she gets her courage from. She truly wishes to protect her school. Her strong awareness of her duty is surpassing her fear. But Teddy on the monitor looks annoyed and sneers at Miss President. It's incredibly detestable. I can't believe that Teddy can even make such a malicious expression. I can.
What's that tiny thing? I'm in the middle of an important conversation with Sensei! A yappy little mutt like you should be muzzled and sit in the corner! Sit, puppy! Sit!
He has absolutely no intent of dealing with her seriously. Miss President turns bright red in humiliation from being brushed off like that. This is enough. I take a step forward to put myself between the monitor and Miss President. I don't know. Let's fight the TV. Fight the TV. Cut it in half.
Take it from here. It's alright. There's nothing to worry about.
Miss President's lips are trembling. She must be angry that there's nothing she can do herself. I don't want that anger to be in vain, so I turn to face the Teddy on the monitor. Slash it in half!
That was pretty harsh, Teddy. Hard to believe a womanizer like you would say such things.
Huh. What's so attractive about a shameless liar like her?
Liar? Do you know something about her?
The way he said that makes it sound as if there's some history between the two of them. But as usual, he doesn't bother to give any details in his answer.
Sensei, your opponent's getting tired of waiting for you. With the next challenger, come on down!
Oh no. And there are a bunch of chairs. After that line, another cloud of smoke rises from the floor. But this time, it is Yukiko who appeared. Like, I thought it might be Kanji, just because, you know, all the chairs.
Oh, thank goodness you're safe. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Are you alright? Has anything odd happened to you?
Alright, let's just go ahead and hit her in the head.
What? No,
Before she says some weird shit. Yukiko seems alarmed to see me in a defensive posture. I feel my shoulders relax in relief as I shift my weight to stand normally. It seems that she hasn't been affected like Yosuke had. Well, let's wait and see. I didn't think I'd been that tense though. Now that's the Yukiko I remember. She's as sharp as always, exactly when we need her. If she's not being confused, then I can immediately ask her for her help. I try to explain what I need from her.
Nanako might be in here. I'm heading to the announcement room where Teddy is. I need you to protect this girl from me. She might be a victim of all this.
I motion towards Miss President standing next to me. Yukiko looks at me in surprise. I don't blame her though. But what Yukiko said next was even more surprising. Oh god.
Why do I have to do that? It's not like I know her or anything.
Okay, I mean that's pretty fair. I'm not going to help her because I don't know her? Is that really what she's saying? I can understand that she might be cautious when we're meeting someone for the first time, but would Yukiko really think that way? It's gotta be the same with Yosuke. That same uncanny sense of wrongness is coming back to me when I hear Yukiko speak. Oh, you don't want to make a new friend? Alright, time for an ass beating.
Yukiko, not you too. Calm down and listen to me. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden? I can hear you clearly. What did you mean by you too?
When I try to question her, Yukiko's expression returns to normal. I can't tell anymore. She doesn't look like she's being controlled by someone. Am I overthinking this too much? At the very least, she doesn't seem enthusiastic about this P1 Grand Prix.
This is probably a trick the enemy is playing on us. They're trying to get us to fight each other. I'll say it one more time, Yukiko. I'd like you to protect this girl for me.
Sorry, but I don't know how to put this. It just feels like you're being really selfish. You always help people who have nothing to do with you, and I admire that. But where does that leave us? It's always your friends who get put in danger because of your self-centeredness.
Damn, fucking got him. I'm used to hearing her voice, but her words are scathing. I'm convinced now. There's no obvious change in her attitude like there had been with Yosuke, but something must be warping Yukiko's words, too. Her words may seem like a sound argument, but she means something else. I don't care if someone who isn't related to me gets hurt. That's definitely not something Yukiko would say. The real Yukiko would never say something that disrespects the value of a life that way. Don't be deluded. Whatever happened to Yosuke is happening to Yukiko too. And that means she's getting the sword. I don't understand the details. Yukiko hasn't had a complete change of heart.
Yukiko.
What the? You can?
Don't call us that. When I draw my sword, Miss President quickly tries to stop me. But I can't answer her right now. Gotta get to slashing. If a battle will clear up this pointless misunderstanding between us, then the time to fight is now.
Ooh, now that's our senpai. You'll show no mercy, not even to a girl if it's for your own goals.
Okay, when you say it like that, it makes you sound like the bad guy.
You're a real bastard with a sister complex. Keep it up and bring 'em all down.
I ignore the taunts being delivered in Rize's voice. Even if our words aren't getting through to each other, and we have to fight without understanding what's going on, we'll come to an understanding later. I have to believe. Both myself and my friends. I hold my sword to the side to protect Miss President, who is standing behind me.
Sorry, but you need to stay back. Whatever you see here, try to stay calm. Promise me you won't run away.
What happens next will probably surprise her greatly, but I doubt Miss President will run away. She's already shown me how strong her determination is. I glance at her over my shoulder. Although she looks worried, she still gives me a slight nod of agreement. Now, time to do this. I must end this as quickly as possible.
Persona!
Yeah, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing still. I concentrate all my senses to summon my strength of heart, my persona, Izanagi. If I allow myself to go easy on Yukiko, she will surely defeat me. Yukiko, the hardest boss in the game, in original Persona 4, by far. Yukiko smiles faintly and takes her battle stance. She resisted the idea of protecting Miss President, but she seems to have no qualms whatsoever about fighting me. There's definitely something else controlling her.
Come, Konohana Sakuya.
Yukiko's black hair forms graceful arcs in the air as her persona, Konohana Sakuya, rises behind her. That's right, the usual Yukiko should have a beautiful heart like this. Wait for me. I will save you. Oh god. Alright, let's frickin'... Let's see how the button mashing goes. Just basically what I'm doing.
Finally! Fight!
Oh god. Just always go for the... No one... I don't even know how to block, but... Oh god. It's not going well this time. Just... When all is lost, you still have the knee kicks. You still have the knee kicks. Oh god, I don't... Okay, let's look at the controls again for a second. Why are they like button... Like they're just dots. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay, so if you hit them at the same time, I guess, we can throw. We have a burst, which is left stick. I don't know what the hell burst is. Once I finish, this will probably be the last video I record today, maybe one more, but I might try and actually learn how to play the game during some off time. Okay, so forward, that's from above. A lunge attack. Okay, so those little meters down there, is that our SP? So forward, blue or green? That would be square or X. Oh god. It's not going well. Just... Okay, we've lost. There's still the slight problem if I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Or like I'm trying to, instead of just button mashing, I'm trying to actually do something, which is worse than just button mashing. It's like you're in like that weird middle ground where like button mashing is better than badly trying to do the right thing than actually doing the right thing. Bro. Also, is there like a block? Is it maybe just like holding back? I should probably like stop jumping. Jumping doesn't seem to be working pretty well. Just go for the knees, man. I mean, so there is a block. I just don't know what button it is. Unless it's just like maybe holding back. Okay, so we'll... So this is Ford canceled into Big Gamble? What the okay. Big Gamble is green. It's just, I wish they were like, they showed the actual, like, what the buttons were. That cost HP? That seems kind of bad. Okay, we win. But yeah, well, I'll probably try and like at least learn how to play the game at like a basic level during some downtime, like during like maybe later tonight or something.
I love all this animosity! These cocky, self-righteous friends showing how they really feel by beating the crap out of each other. That's the real thrill of the P1 Grand Prix!
I don't care to hear any more of Teddy's jests. Still have my reservations about fighting against my friends, but I now know that there's no other way to save them. I'm resolved to do what must be done. Also, the music's like not super quiet now. Like this track in particular is like kind of loud. At least compared to everything else. Also, there's no knowing if Teddy and Rize have been affected just like Yosuke and Yukiko had. If they are, then there's no use in trying to talk to them through the monitor like this. That's the conclusion I've come to, but Miss President seems to have other ideas.
How much further are you gonna push this? Why are you doing it anyway? These guys are friends! What's so much fun about making friends fight each other?
I don't know, it's kind of fun. Miss President vents her frustration at Teddy's image on the monitor, but I was a bit surprised at how she worded it. He seemed more upset than he was making friends fight each other, not why he had dragged the entire school into this mess. We've only just met, but she clearly sympathizes with us and understands the pain we're going through. I'm embarrassed, but proud at the same time. A girl with such compassion would be a great student council president. It's no wonder that she was elected to represent the student body of Yasugami High.
It's alright. Thanks, though.
It's not alright! This is...
He's still worked up and she lashes out at me. Perhaps her heart is a little too honest. But her anger sets my mind at ease. She's right. What General Teddy is doing right now cannot be forgiven. I glare at the monitor. Come on, slash it in half.
Sorry, but you're not getting your wish.
What?
Did you think this would be all it took to break us apart? That it would make us hate each other? Sorry to say, but that's a huge mistake on your part. I believe in my friends. They'll never get taken in like that.
You're so stupid! What kind of sensei are you?
I'm warning you now. If you really are Teddy, then we'll get you back to normal no matter what it takes. Even if it costs us our lives. But if you're an imposter, hiding behind Teddy's face, I will make you pay for toying with us.
Teddy scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off. Man, the main character used to be so much cooler than the silent protagonist of the main game. Suddenly turning on us without any signs of remorse, that's not like Teddy at all. No, he's most likely not the real Teddy. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. Someone must be taking Teddy's form to make it look like he's the one committing these acts.
That girl's come around.
I immediately rush to Yukiko's side. Okay, we should probably call it here. Probably should have stopped at the bookmark, but I didn't realize what time we're at. We'll go ahead and call it here. Next time we will continue onward with Yu's story. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.